I wanna be a billionaire. I ain't getting no sleep till I see a milli every week. I wanna be a billionaire. I ain't getting no sleep till I see a billy every week. I wanna be a billionaire. Billionaire, I wanna be a billionaire.
Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? Welcome to another episode of Sleep is for Billionaires, the podcast. I am your host, Johnny Vegas. Now today, ladies and gentlemen, you are in for a treat. I got the actress known as Bianca Bathune in the building. How you doing? Don't leave me hanging.
Not leave me hanging. Hello. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming, man. I know we were just talking about how we met, through my boy 10K. Shout out to 10. We see you out there doing your thing.
Hey.
And yeah, man, it's funny. You got the movie coming out, and I saw you on the trailer again. I'm not even gonna mention the movie yet. We'll save that for the end. But yeah, I saw you. I was like, oh, look at Shawty doing her thing. And then I actually watched part 2, when he came to the door with Reggie and all that. And I was like, wow, yeah, you were even younger back then. You had the braids and all that.
Yeah.
Wow, how old were you back then?
I shot it. I was 11, and then
you were 11.
Yeah, I was playing a 15-year-old, I think. But I was very tall early in age, so it worked. And then it came out in 2003. So just in that in between time.
That's what it is, man. Well, before we even get to all that and to do the spoiler, we ain't gonna even let them know yet. This show is about getting insider information for those looking to be in your position. So you as a up and coming actress doing your thing, getting these roles. I kind of want to shed light on the grind, and the work that you're putting into get to the success that you want to achieve and your plans to maintain. But I want to start from the beginning. Where you from?
I'm from New Jersey, actually.
Oh, yeah? What part of Jersey?
It's a small town called Keyport.
Oh, yeah? Well, I lived in a small town called Patterson.
Okay, yes, I know of that. But I came out here when I was 15, so any driving in any other areas of New Jersey, I don't know.
I see.
As soon as I say Keyport, if you don't know it, then the conversation's over. That's it.
I honestly don't know Keyport. I knew Passaic, Newark, Patterson, of course, and Elizabeth. The hoods.
Yes. Have you ever heard of Red Bank?
No.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay, it's fine.
That's it. But yeah, I came out here. I was doing more performance, like halftime for the Knicks and the Nets.
Whoa! Wait.
Like dance, like not the cheerleaders, but like the real, just the dancers, the kid version of the cheerleaders.
Okay, how old were you at this time?
I would say probably like 9.
Oh, okay.
10 years old. I was doing that, so the performance bug came from that.
Okay.
And then I did like modeling, and I had then an agent, and my first movie audition was that movie. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're gonna just put it out there. Yeah. It was Bad Boys.
Yes.
Bad Boys. You played Martin Lawrence's daughter.
I did.
That was your first audition.
First movie audition ever.
And you got it.
Got it. And now, granted, it wasn't like a one-stop audition type thing. I definitely went through a few auditions. Matter of fact, it was something similar like this, where the director was via camera screen from wherever location he was. Yeah. And I'm like 11 years old, going through these interviews in a sense to book this job, and then my mom told me that I booked it, and I was like, who booked it? Me? Okay. And it just definitely changed my life, made me SAG, and I think the main thing I'm excited about is that it just shows what persistence really can do for you.
Right.
I mean, that movie came out in 2003, and now it's going into 2020.
Yeah.
That's a huge gap.
Right.
So it's like, for me, I knew what was written for me, and it was either I'm going to take the responsibility of what it takes to get to the next levels, or just let that be a moment in time. So
we can't let that happen.
Cannot let that happen.
So now I'm glad you brought that up, the gap in between. So tell me, what has been your plan or your journey from that time to now that Bad Boys 3 is about to drop? How have you been maintaining your career? Has it just been tell me about the grind?
Well, first, the main thing was growing up. Like I said, the movie.
You was like 9.
Yeah. so I'm talking about 15 to 21 was just the growth of being an adult. So not only was I doing that, but then I was doing it in Los Angeles. So it's like, wow, look at all this Hollywood life.
And you came out, your family,
my mom and I.
Okay,
my mom and I came out here. My father, he lives in South Carolina. He's like a hunter, supported from a distance type thing. Like he just likes his life like
They
that.
not together.
No, they divorced when I was 11. That he just likes the country life. Bye, go do that.
It's
So
all good. Y'all still close though?
Yeah, we're cool. I'll definitely go visit, snake boots on and a hat and call it a day.
You like hunting?
I like being outdoors.
So
Let's
have you hunted?
I have, yes. Hunted, fished, saw pigs being
You shot a deer
prepared.
before?
I have not, but I've definitely seen my father mid-conversation with me in the car, pull over, get his shotgun out the back of the car, shoot the deer, and put it in the trunk, and continue the conversation like it was nothing.
How did you partake in the hunting experience?
I wore all my camo. I took lots of pictures for Instagram, and then I sat in a little treehouse that they made in the backyard. Binoculars. I did the little, like, they have this specific whistle. Yep. So I was there. I was baiting the.
Oh, you was baiting them, and when they came out, he was shooting them.
Go ahead and handle it. Yeah.
Oh, have you ever shot a gun before?
I have. When they had the little shells that they use the machine that flies up in the air, and then you have to shoot it.
Oh,
but I got like a huge bruise on my arm, so it's like
because you gotta hold the shotgun right there.
That's fine.
So you shot it once. I was like, yeah, I'm done.
Did you see that? Did you see that kickback? That was aggressive.
Gotcha. What about handguns?
Handguns, shooting ranges. Yeah, it's more so for acting purposes. I like to do a little bit of everything just so I can say I've done it.
I see.
So like sports.
Add it to the resume.
Add it to the resume. I did a show called Rosewood with Morris Chestnut.
Yeah. It's on Hulu right now.
Yeah, it was on 2 seasons, I believe. And I played an agent that died, and they're trying to figure out the process of how that happened, whatever. But the point of my audition was to see if I could handle a gun and do all that. So because of my training and classes I've done, I said, oh, okay, I can do this. And it just becomes second nature.
Yeah.
So that's a good tip for you actors out there. Take classes so you can just have that essence. And then when you book it, then you go practice for sure.
Yeah.
But at least in the meantime, they can see a little bit of something in you. So you're not lying about it.
Yeah, some versatility at least.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You don't have to have your gun license to know how to use a gun, and it helps.
Just hold it.
Right.
Hold it properly. We don't do this. And,
don't do this.
Please don't. It's not real. But yeah, so we moved out here, like I said, in 2006, and it was just my mother and I. At the time, the agent that booked me for Bad Boys moved out here, so it was a little bit of an easy transition, in a sense. And she helped me book Criminal Minds, Everybody Hates Chris. I did a couple Disney shows, and then it kind of fell out. She didn't want to rep actors anymore. She wanted to veer off to music. So my mom and I were kind of just
she quit.
Here, on
man.
us, and we just were lost in this Los Angeles life.
So now at that point, I know you and your mom had to make a decision, like, either we're gonna keep going or we're gonna have to probably both get jobs.
Exactly, or go back home. Which is always the case with a lot of people. They come out here for 3-4 months thinking that they're gonna book this next big thing and they'll live happily ever after, and that's not the case.
That's when they're not experienced, man. Some people be like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a month.
Right? Where? Give it a month where? And now, a month could be in a planned scenario where you're saying, okay, I'm going to come here to meet agents. I'm going to come here to meet casting directors. So if you're specifically coming out here to sow the seeds to then come back later on, by all means do so. But if you're coming out here hoping to book a job and then, like I said, living happily ever after, no, that's not it. It's not it. That's not it.
Right. Now, I guess people get it confused. Like, I was just had this conversation with my boy yesterday. Like, coming to LA was a strictly business decision. This ain't no place. I mean, you could retire, but you have to be super wealthy.
For sure, to live right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But you come out, this is a business decision, and this is a long-term commitment, so you got to be out here ready to put in that work. It could take 5, 10, sometimes even 20 years, but you got to be ready to commit to that, for your dream.
The main thing is knowing what your purpose is. I think that's the first question to figure out what your purpose in life is, what's your calling, because as much as I'm going for auditions, there's tons where people say no. So what keeps me going? What's my why to do this? And if you're just trying to be famous, or you're trying to just make the money, or get the perks of whatever, then every time you are faced with an obstacle, it'll push you 7 steps back instead of just making you stronger. Every time you have an obstacle, that should just make you stronger, just another layer on top of this building that you're creating. But if you see, oh, there's a chip, you're so focused on that chip, instead of saying, okay, that was a lesson learned, let me move forward, you focus on that one thing, everything else is just passing you. So I think when you focus on what the overall goal is, no matter what you're faced with, you're still focusing on that.
Well said.
Yeah.
What's your why?
My why is my mother, and security for her. I want to use my platform to help other young actors and performers to succeed. My mother was able to provide me with every experience that I wanted as a child. If I wanted to horseback ride, I was horseback riding. If I wanted to, do a math team or something, she would help me with that. Anything I wanted to do, I was able to do it 150% with all access to it. So for me, I want to provide that again to the next generation, so that they can have the experiences that I had, because now I have so much confidence that anything is possible, that I can do anything. But if you're just trying to get to school, or have food on your table, or have the actual resources to do this dream that you have, you can go so much further when you have it. So I think my why would be to be able to succeed in a way to help the next generation as much as my mother has done for me. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. That's cool as hell, man. Yeah, my why is to definitely build a solid foundation for my family, and a platform to help the next generation propel.
Yes.
And inspire those who don't have the motivation and feel like dreams are far fetched.
Yes.
Coming from where I'm from, it's like people feel like they're just victim to their circumstances. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's bills, kids, or just not being able to cover the rent, or barely cover the rent, but you're living in the projects, and it's like you don't see past that. And it's like, I didn't see so much. Like, it's possible. You just gotta believe, and you gotta be willing to commit to that marathon.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, some people got it, some people don't, but I just want to show you that it's possible.
For sure. And it's also who you surround yourself with too, because you can be in those circumstances, but if you have the right people that are like-minded of the possibility of something better, they'll be able to fuel you every time you want to doubt yourself or question the movement that you want to make. If you have people that are doubting you or doubting themselves, then you can't talk to them about your dreams or what you want to do, because they'll question it. And then when they question it, then you start questioning it. And now, again, we're still in this energy of wasting and saying why to this instead of saying how.
I get that in a sense, but constructive criticism is good.
For sure.
Doubters and haters, I understand, they come straight negativity. They probably feel it's not possible for them, so it's not possible for anybody.
That's what I'm speaking about.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah. Because some people, it's not, I know it's not what you say, it's how you say it, but they can be supporters, but still question it as constructive criticism, but may deliver it, and we may take it as hate, as creative, because sometimes we're so sensitive with our craft. So, but it's always good to really take a bird's eye view of the situation, really analyze that question or that concern, and use it as constructive criticism. So knowing the difference.
Yes, knowing the difference. And who it's coming from. I guess that's what I mean. For someone who's just living the normal life and thinking that, oh, you want to go move to LA? Oh, you want to do this?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, when it comes off like that, ain't no question. That's hate. Yeah, you doubting it.
Like, thanks. I'll keep my comments to myself.
Yeah, you still got my number? Lose it.
Right. Exactly.
Who's some of your favorite actors? Or actresses?
Actors. I always say, let's see. Idris Elba's always like my first when it comes to a male lead.
Really?
Man. Yeah, I mean, he's so
before
versatile.
Denzel?
For me, that's my...
I got it. For you.
Superpower. He does superpowers. He has his little secret agent side.
You seen him in Hobbs and Shaw?
I have.
He killed it.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's just such a range. I always say like Zoe Saldana. I say Gina Davis.
Zoe Dominicana.
I say Sandra Bullock.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it could be literally anybody. Viola Davis. anyone that has a range of characters, that's what I'm focused on because that's what I want to do. My looks are different every day. My mannerisms are different based off the circumstances or the people that I'm surrounded with.
Mm-hmm.
That I think that's fun because then you're taking yourself out of like the judgment of the character and just being solely into that person.
Yeah.
I like that, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I like actors that do that. You won't be able to tell. Like I said with Idris Elba, you wouldn't even know he has an accent.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like when he first came to the scene, he wasn't speaking British. He was speaking English,
exactly.
an English accent, and I didn't know he had that London accent until started rapping or something.
Exactly. Meryl Streep, same thing. Just she strips down and goes straight to the source of what that story is telling and the character is going through, and you can relate in some way, and that's what I love. So, yeah, those are my favorite actors. Anybody that can make you feel something without judging it, I think that's
acting.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you can play anybody, like in a biopic, who would you want to play?
Probably Taraji P. Henson, because she's been through it, and I like her mentality of being she achieves everything. When she wins awards, she always speaks about how she started. And she had her son with $200 with her. She sleeping on people's couches and doing whatever. She's had a story. Just any woman I feel like that has overcome serious obstacles and has won regardless, I would love to play that. I was on a show called Switched at Birth on Freeform, and I was playing a high school student going into college. My school was closed down because of funding, and we were then forced to all come together into this one school that was actually predominantly deaf students. So I had this crazy chip on my shoulder, very just aggressive and angry. My mother had personality disorder, so she would come to my school blasting on me because I didn't make the bed, just all types of crazy things.
Wow.
And each episode we were going through racial things, financial things, sports, education.
That was an interesting show.
Yeah, and we come full circle at the end of the season. I have a job, my mom is doing well, I have a great friend, I'm focused on school. So it's just like that arc that I was able to experience that just warms my heart. Not only for the character, but for myself, because then people will come up to me and say, yes, they liked my character, but it also helped them in something they were going through. And that's important.
Yeah, for real. That's deep. What's the name of that show again?
Switched at Birth.
And that's it just came out?
No, it's been out. It actually got canceled in 2017, I think it is. So I believe it's still on Netflix. Yeah.
Okay. Why do you think that show got canceled since it had such a strong message?
I say the same thing. The network changed to Freeform, so when it did, we had one more season. No, and that was it. You never know. It's probably so past the storyline. It could be such a business thing that we don't even know about. So I'm grateful for what it was. I was on it for 3 seasons. I made a great friend out of it that I can call my friend even now to this day. And just show me what I was capable of. I was playing basketball, field hockey, doing sign language, singing, everything. And it showed me that as long as you stay dedicated and committed to something, you can do it. It's believable. So
absolutely.
Kind of pat myself on the back.
There you go, as you should.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the 5-year plan for you?
5-year plan. I always talk about financial freedom. I feel like that goes across the board with being knowledgeable about financing, or finances, I should say. And so that then I can be able to use my platform to do what I was saying with having some type of center for children, being able to help my mother. She's battling cancer right now, and I want to be able to.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's a thing where I'm grateful that I'm in the place that I am now because I can handle it with such strength. And not be afraid to speak about it because no one will know. I carry myself in a way where things are great because they are. We're another day in.
Y'all together every day? Like y'all live
yes,
together?
we live together.
That's good.
So I'm in a point where I'm so grateful for every day now because of this experience that now I'm focused on being able to look further on in my life and say, okay, well, how can I help someone else, exactly what I just said, but in a bigger scale.
Mm-hmm.
Having some type of foundation, some type of charity event where I can have that every year. Like Rihanna has her gala event to raise money for the things that she cares about. Same thing. And, you know, I want to have a production company. I have some ideas for some children's stories for like Disney or Netflix, and have like books, but teaching children about their emotions and being able to. You would think I have like 18 kids the way I talk, but
it's all good.
No, kids are I just love their hearts. They're so sweet and innocent, and we have to teach them all the things that we learn to do and not to do so they can be better than us. And I know that it's possible just off the little conversations that I do have with my nieces and nephews. They have unimaginable dreams and thoughts and ideas that if we fuel them, who knows where they would be.
Sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit. So if I could have in these 5 years a strong platform to be able to speak to someone else that has a higher resource than I do to make this center possible, especially in the Los Angeles area, as well as other states and countries wherever we can make it, I would love that. That focuses on finances and performing arts.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's what's up, man. I hope that all works out for you. It sounds like you got a lot of plans, a lot of goals. I mean, definitely entrepreneurial at heart.
Absolutely.
You know, so keep that going. You know, so tell me, I know you're aware of like, you know, like the dark sides of Hollywood and all that. You know, so as a woman, you know, do you are you fearful of any like things that may take place? You know, like with the whole, you know, what the Me Too movement stand for. You got these guys, predators coming up onto young, you know, beautiful females. You know, are you fearful or prepared for situations like that?
I am. I feel like having your tribe, your circle of people surrounding you will keep you grounded to know exactly who you are and stand for. I personally haven't dealt with anything like that, but it could also be because of the way I present myself. Not saying that any woman that has been in those situations did not, but I come strong with that from the beginning, that I'm about my business and only that. So to prevent myself from going to different environments or being invited to certain things and not going to them, to invite that idea. I think that if we just pay attention to how we present ourselves and where we bring ourselves to certain parties or staying a little too long at certain events, could keep that barrier between the two. Because if I hang out with you and then I'm still hanging out with you and the party's over and I'm still hanging out with you,
you're going to expect something.
That's it. I'm on both ends with it. I feel like just respect each other and no means no.
No, that's a fact.
You know, I don't know, because some people are I have friends that are super friendly, but in their mind they're just being friendly, but to a man they think it's flirty. They think that they're interested. And it's not the case.
Right.
So it's, how do we find that happy medium to be polite, but also not seem like we're available?
Right.
You know, that's like a man giving me a compliment or trying to talk to me while I'm mid, stride. I politely say thank you and smile, but then I keep walking. I don't turn around and flip my hair and then do a whole thing, because then that's inviting. Yes, that's mannerisms. I don't know if that's something. Body language. That's inviting.
Right.
To anyone. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just be careful.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. You know, and I know, and I meant more so of the like people like dangling opportunities in front of you to try to, you know what I mean?
Hey, I don't think anything worth having comes easy. So I worked my way to exactly where I am. Nothing was given to me. So if you think that one job that person gives you is going to open all the doors,
probably not.
Think again.
Yeah, exactly.
And shoot, you might film it and then you get cut.
Yeah.
So now what? You just did all that for
nothing.
For some set time to be on set. Go take an acting class. They got cameras and lights and all this stuff in here. You can practice your scenes so you can feel something. You can do student films or whatever the case may be to get to that point. But using someone to get somewhere,
good luck.
Nah. It's not worth it.
So how do you practice your scenes? Like, what's your process when it comes to remembering your lines and, embodying.
Yeah, it's definitely important to prepare. My God, like the one thing I know of from working with a casting director,
Mm-hmm.
I was her assistant, so I was seeing it from behind the scenes and being prepared. Being off book, which means memorizing your lines, is very important. Getting coached. But I break down the scene from these two acting coaches that I used to go to. They have books that are almost like textbooks. Ivana Chubbuck, The Power of the Actor, I believe it's called. And then Susan Batson has a book as well. And each of them literally break down scripts, how you're supposed to give objectives as to like what do you want over the course of the scene. Substitution. So if I am reading with you and you're my brother, though I might not have a brother, who can I substitute for that person that gives that same substance? Figuring out where you are, your moment before, which is where you came from to get you to this point. There's a lot of things that you can ask yourself from these books that you can write out, whether you read the script or not, but you can make it up so that you feel very grounded in the scene. Because you go for an audition, there's 3 or 4 people in the room. There could be construction next door. Somebody could, call on the phone. There's so many distractions that if you're not grounded and prepared, it can throw you off.
Right.
So I definitely suggest getting those 2 books because it'll enable you to open your mind up besides just looking at the lines and what's given. You can create this backstory and really create this history of this person so that when you walk in, you're sitting in the lobby, you're carrying yourself as such. If they need to be sitting up in proper dressed apart, if your hair is a certain way and that's not the character, fix it. Do your hair as you're supposed to. Tons of times where I'm playing an athlete, I always braid my hair a certain way. I wear a certain outfit because that gives me the mannerisms to sit a certain way, to carry myself a certain way. So as soon as you walk in the room, they know you got it.
Right.
And even if you don't book it, I always say just do your best because that means that you're sowing a seed for them to know who you are for the next time. The casting director can say they like you, but the director doesn't feel that you guys match because of skin complexion or you're not available during the days, whatever the case may be. But at least if you say, okay, I dropped the mic and I did my best, then they'll remember you for something else. So just be present, be available, and listen. Don't think of the lines and just read them off or say them real quick because you want to get it done. Take a moment, breathe. As much as we're talking right now, I have to think of the thoughts that I want to say. I don't just say, no. What? What are you saying? Hey, can't hear you.
Yeah.
Come again, say what? So yeah, it's fun. It's almost like homework in a way. It's so funny. I feel like it's the first day of school and you're getting your supplies and everything. I got my highlighter and my pen and my little notebook. And it just makes you prepared because you don't know what can happen. There's tons of distractions that can happen in a room. Or the worst is when the reader reads real dry and they're like, and then. It's like, so you're supposed to be crying right now.
Right.
Where am I? But if you're coach and you're prepared, go ahead. Skip a line if you want to. Don't read it at all if you want to. I'll do a monologue. I don't care,
Yeah.
It's that type of thing. And have control in the room. You going in for an audition, your picture when you're submitted is as small as your thumbnail. So you're having tons of people submitting from different agencies, self-submitting, and they're that small. So you coming into the audition is already half the battle. They want to see you.
Yeah.
So if you carry yourself in a way where you're already winning, then you won't be so eager and like thirsty when you're in the audition. Like, hi, my name's Bianca. It's so great to be here. It's like, no, like, nice to meet you. Yeah. Oh my God, like the lobby, you got the nice flowers back or whatever.
Yeah.
Compliment them on their top or something. Create some type of relationship. Vibe to say you're a normal person as well. No problem.
Right.
You ready? Okay, let's do the scene.
That's what's up.
And that's it.
Okay.
You're winning all the time.
Have you ever like in your opinion, have you ever like kind of dropped the balls in a sense in the audition room?
Yes, for sure. And not being prepared.
What was the worst in your opinion?
Having already known I don't know the words, the lines specifically, or to the T. Now, if I know the storyline, I can finesse it, but I wasn't prepared enough to continue the story. So I didn't even have the sides in my hand. I had them on the floor, which I normally do when I'm prepared. I just keep them on the floor, really, so that cast directors can see all the writing and stuff on it. But I did it as I normally do, and I knew I didn't have it, and I sat there and I trying to find it, trying to stay in the moment.
Right.
You know what? I'm so sorry. Can we just take this back because? And then I got the paper and I kept it in my hand. It's over. I'm not getting called.
Yeah, that was it. Once you say, I'm sorry, can I? No, you can't.
I will suggest if you're in those moments, because hey, you could get a call right now and you have to go for an audition, or you have the audition tomorrow, but you have work tonight. I understand. So do what I said of breaking the script down as much as you can, and if you don't know it, keep it in your hand. Flip the pages, but just stay present. Don't read it off the page. Just be able to see the first line, and then it trigger the rest of it. Don't drop it on the floor like I did, knowing you don't know the words. Okay, a mess. They can see it, and then apologizing or being late. You should be 15 minutes
And don't
early.
ever ask them, how do you want me to say it?
What?
Don't ever do that.
If you don't know how to slate like basic things that involve an audition process, take an audition class so that you know what you look like on camera. You know what certain shirts look good on you, or colors, I should say. Because that's important. If you carry yourself confidently and very professional, they respect that, and they get excited about that, because if that's how you are at the audition, that means that's going to be how you are on set. So if you're late, if you're making excuses saying you're in traffic, say you're in traffic one more time.
Yeah, say you're in traffic one more time.
I want you to.
This is LA.
LA, period. Even today, it took me 45 minutes to get over here. So what you want me to do? Leave later so then I'm late to then say that there was traffic that I already knew was going to be here?
Yeah.
No excuses. Just treat it like anything else. Treat it like you want it.
Right. So let me ask you now, on another note, why were you unprepared for that specific opportunity? Because it was an opportunity.
It was an opportunity. I can't say specifically. Clearly, I just didn't want it enough. How about that? I'll give it as the overview of that.
That's good that you actually admit that. A lot of people won't. I didn't want it bad enough.
Yeah, I probably just didn't want it bad enough, or I thought I could wing it because it wasn't especially when the characters are close to me, my personality, then I don't feel like I need to do the work. And then that shows. It's almost when the characters are further away from me that I do more of the work to bring them closer. But as soon as they're in my realm, I'm like, 2 pages? Oh, no problem. I got it. And I don't even know where I am. I don't know what I'm looking at. You know, you have to create they call it the fourth wall. So when I'm reading with the reader, I'm looking around here, and this has to be my environment. If I don't know where I am, and I'm just in the audition room, I'm going to be in the audition room. I'll see that light. I'll see that something, and I look this way, or I hear that construction sound or whatever. I pay attention to it. No. Zone out, focus exactly on that. Because right now we're talking, 3 or 4 people probably walk by, and I'm right here.
Insane.
And that's how it's supposed to be. Yeah, you have to want it.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's probably why. I was like,
I respect that. I
bet you I ain't book it. I don't call back or nothing. No way. Yeah.
All right. So when you got the call that was gonna make Bad Boys 3, how excited were you?
It was a level of excitement I can't even describe, because so much time had gone by, and on top of that, 3 or 4 years they kept saying the movie was gonna come out.
Okay.
Oh, 2018, 2017, 2016, movie's gonna come out. New director, this, new script. I felt like a bird on like their perch just waiting to attack, because I didn't know when it was go time. It was when Will, Martin, and the 2 directors, Bilal and Adil, both of them, or all 4 of them, I should say, were in a video on Will's Instagram, and they were like, Bad Boys for Life, it's official. I was like, okay, it's go time, let me go. And I was on it. I told my reps,
okay,
it's time. It's time. Because that's all I needed. No, Will's never said for sure. It's always been some type of article saying it. So when Will said it, I said,
we about to blow up.
No big deal. No, for real. That's exactly what I thought. Because that was part of it. Bad Boys 2, if you ask anyone about Bad Boys, the top scene that they speak about is the dating scene with the boy. No one has replicated that again.
Oh my God, so many memes with that.
Yeah, it's a forever cult classic.
Yeah.
So I knew the family was going to be in it somehow, some way. I didn't know in what aspect, but I'm older, time has gone by, I am here and I am ready.
Right.
So what I did was I posted a picture on Instagram of 3 pictures side by side. So I did 2 pictures of me currently at red carpets, and then I did the picture of me when I was 13 at the red carpet. And I put on the comment, it's time, y'all tag the directors and let them know I'm ready. And I just got like hundreds of comments tagging them. I followed them both on Instagram, sent them messages. They both followed me back in 24 hours and sent me a response and said, thank you so much. We'll send your info to casting. And 2 weeks later, I had my first fitting. No meetings, no setup, no nothing. Straight like that.
That's what's up.
But that just shows, outside of the job, it shows what persistence and being consistent will get you. Because I could have been, you know, off somewhere in Timbuktu talking about, oh, let me get to Los Angeles so I can whatever. No, I was very ready and solid and saying, yep. Whenever you would like to see me, I am ready. You know? And it was great.
Just in case if you didn't know.
Just in case. Yeah. Because I mean, granted, I'm not a series regular yet. I wasn't on billboards. You didn't know me like that. So I had to make myself known.
Right.
And I felt like that was a creative way to do so, to show them here I was and here I am. You know? And it worked. First fitting was the day before Christmas Eve. And we started shooting in January. And I was gone in Atlanta and Miami for like 3 months, back and forth, doing my thing. It felt like a family reunion when you haven't seen like your grandfather or you know, family members in a long time, but you didn't miss a beat. Right. But you know time has gone by. It was like that.
What was it like, you know, working with Will and Martin on set?
It was beautiful. I mean, like I said, it definitely felt like I didn't miss anything. I felt like I was supposed to be there. I felt it was the right time. We were laughing and joking. Obviously, they were like in awe of what I look like now. But it was so great. I could have such great conversation with them and tell them what I've been doing. Will was the first person that told me of an acting coach to go to when I was in Bad Boys 2. So for me to come back full circle and let him know what I've been doing, it was definitely like, oh, okay. All right, you've been doing your thing. That's why you're here. Like, you know, it was that type of thing of an assurance. And even till this day, I have people that I can speak to, you know, obviously connected with them that will constantly make sure I'm on the right path and still guided and moving forward, because this is just the first of many. Absolutely. And I'm well aware of that, and I want to take full responsibility of whatever I need to do to keep that ball and momentum going.
Right. Well, I can't wait to see it, man. It comes out in January,
yes,
right?
January 17th, 2020. Go to see it, please.
You know the world's going to go see that movie.
When you see a girl with curly hair like this, specifically this color, it's me. It is me. Look at that trailer again. It is me, and I'm just thrilled that I'm able to just shine my light. I've come such a far way, and to be able to be platformed in this way, it warms my heart and shows that what I'm doing, I'm supposed to be doing. So. Right.
That's what's up, man. Well, I'm happy for you, man.
Thank you.
It looks like, you know, you're excited about the future. You can see it already, and you're heading in that direction. So much success, yo, and I'm glad you came on the show today. Let the people know where they can follow you.
Yes, follow me, please. On Instagram, that's where I'm heavily active. It's Bianca T. Bethune. I was going to say at Gmail. At Bianca T. Bethune. BETHUNE. Follow me, say hey, let me know that you guys watched the show, and I definitely will send some love your way.
There you go, man. Well, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Sleep is for Billionaires, the podcast. I am your host, Johnny Vegas, Bianca Bethune. Make sure you stay tuned for more episodes to come, and make sure you go check out that Bad Boys 3 coming in January.
Thank you.
And we out.
Peace.